Side. We wanted to got a message, just a brief message with a word for today. We're gonna call it the word for today, okay? And we're gonna be talking about uh, it's gonna be on the subject matter based on what the scripture is talking about. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path. Okay, so we want to say it's important that we train up our children the way the Most High God tells us that we should raise human beings in this earth, because we see that the church has failed us, our educators has failed us, the people who we put over us in government has failed us, and we shouldn't have to uh, do any more experiments or do any more studies. We know that earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So only wicked is going to be produced. Uh, what's that? What's that? Psychology to uh, community education. Your community educates you. You learn what your community has to teach you, whether it be broken information or whether it be good information. And one example that Dr. Guru uses, Joyce Guru uses, she said, if a lot of people say they can cook, and you ask them who taught you how to cook, and then they tell you their mama taught them how to cook. Now, two things could be happening. Either their mama could cook or their mama couldn't cook. Either way it goes, they're going to learn how not to cook. They're going to learn how to be bad cooks or good cooks, because your environment, the people who teach you, creates the environment, creates the norms of society. So we know who has taught us, who has created our norms in society, and that's the condition that the world is in today, based on our leaders. And we know who are the leaders. We are the minority. We are the feeble-minded people on this earth, because that's what they created. That's what they designed us to be, feeble-minded. We don't know who we are. We don't know what it means to be free. We don't know what it means when the Bible talks about us God giving all men and women dominion over their own world. We think, we're not thinking critically. And just to touch on that dominion part over your own world. So if every man and woman have dominion over their world, then it's got to be the word world in John 3:16 can't mean the earth, right? Okay, so think about that. But we're going to listen to what I have to say here. I did it on TikTok, and I'm going to comment on it as I go along. But I want you to hear what the Spirit was giving me here. See if you agree with it. If you don't, please leave comments, and where I can get, your comments. We all doing research here on life, man. We all living. And that's been our problem. We won't pass on information. We always trying to outdo each other. We won't pass on good information, even if it's indictments. Give your information. You're not supposed to suffer sin on your brother or your sister. So always be ready to give information where there's criticism. But one thing we learned in school, counseling was what I was being trained for. We learned in therapy, there's a thing you must do. If you're going to criticize somebody, you always got to stroke them too. You always got to compliment them. There was a game we played with stroke and indictment. It's a therapeutical game. Whenever you criticize somebody, you make sure you stroke them first. And save the bad news, or you can position it however you want. You can criticize them first, but make sure you stroke them and tell them what you like about them. Okay? So, leave your comments, your messages. This message here is to our women. We want to free the women from the curse of Babylon. And I explain why. We want to free our black women from the curse of Babylon. But my stroke to them is, I know y'all go through a lot. I know you're the hardest working people on the planet. You go through a lot. You stressed out a lot for all humanity. A lot of weight is on your shoulders. So we just ask God to give you rest and peace to where you can let somebody else help you with this load, okay? Let the black men help you with this load, okay? All praise to the Most High. I got a quick subject I want to talk about. Can children change the world? Remember when the video I just posted where those teenager children... The video I posted was talking about the civil rights movement where the children went in that restaurant, okay, and got beat up, okay. Students went in for war during the civil rights movement. They went into that diner and they sat down. They got the mess beat out of them because they wanted to insist that we join, that they let us join, eat with them, sit at their table. That's an abomination to God, by the way. We're not supposed to sit down and eat with the detestable things, the abominable things. We're not supposed to sit at their table and eat their food, right? Right? So, but ever since that movement, our people, our politicians have been proclaiming that it's going to be the children that change the world, right? That change the world and cause everybody to love one another and get together and join with one another. You know, they said the children will be the ones that do that. Let me de-escalate some. That's wrong. Because the Bible said that the children in these last days shall be our oppressors, right? Well, how does that make sense? It makes sense because in these last days, the devil is going to be mad because his time to rule this earth is shortened. Just use common sense. You got to be critical thinkers. And the Bible helps you to do that. The prophecy helps us to see the future. That helps us to critically think. You got to think while you thinking. That's what critical thinking means. When you hear something, you got to think about it, and you got to respond to it. So the Bible said in the last day, the devil's going to get mad and go to destroying everything that we have built as a people. Destroying the earth. You know, they didn't really build anything. The wicked never really built anything. Only thing they designed was a patent to steal our inventions. God gave Joseph the knowledge of the earth. Right? He gave the Israelites the knowledge of how the earth works, how the chemistry works, how the elements of the earth works. But our people have been pushing ever since that movement that a child shall lead the way. They got that totally out of context because the Bible's not the author of confusion. The Bible said that as for my people, Google this, as for my people, children shall be their oppressors. Right? What are they going to do? How is the children going to lead us, everybody, into loving one another? White kids holding black kids' hands and all of that, the dream. That fake dream that the fake dreamer had. before he died, he said, I think I had some fake dreams here. Right? I think I've been leading on some fake information. So if they are killing the children, destroying them, taking the laws and the mind of God away from them, that's what happens when you take the laws away from a people. When you take God's laws away from the Israelites, you take the mind of God away from them. We can't critically think anymore. And they have never been able to critically think. The enemies of God have never been able to critically think, because if they were so great of thinkers, they wouldn't have done some dumb stuff like taking God's chosen people into captivity because they were so mad because God made us He built us better than he built them. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. We are made in his image. So, you got these children going in this diner thinking that they could convince the devil to change, when the Bible said he has no changes. His soul is upside down in him. He has no feelings. That's why he's an actor. He act out what he think humanity is. But he can't feel compassion. Only for himself and his people do he have compassion. But he'll destroy them like he'll destroy the other nations. Right? I don't know if TikTok will go for this or not, but I'm going to record it anyway, and then I'll put it on YouTube. But the children will not lead us into peace. Because when Christ came, he didn't come to bring peace, and he's not coming to unite us all together. He's coming to divide us back like he had us at first. Deuteronomy 32. He divided all the nations and gave them their land, gave everybody their land, according to the number of the children of Israel. We got the most ownership on this earth of land, but they have taken it all away, our inheritance away from us. Right? That's what they have done. But the question is, when are we going to stop pretending that these children are smarter than the adults? And even in the schools, you study sociology, psychology, any profession you study, you're going to have some communication teacher, some history teacher, one of your instructors is going to tell you, in order to make it in this professional world, you have to forget everything your parents taught you. Now, I know I got a lot of people can say he ain't lying about that. If you ever been to college, that's where they start off 101 on that level. You got to forget everything your parents told you. Where do we get the idea when the Bible said that our children are going to be the most wickedest on the earth out of our people? They are going to buy into the concept that Babylon knows best. And Babylon is going to be destroying them all at the same time. So where do we get that from? Babylon is destroying our children. It's destroying them mentally, and then he moved to physically destroying them. That's where we are now. But not only that, I want to get to a deeper. I think it's deeper because in our homes, our women are brainwashing our children to think that they are smarter than their fathers. Now, you can see it's the same spirit that was on Eve when she took sides with the devil and tried to convince Adam that God was lying to them, and he was jealous. He didn't want them to be little gods on the earth when he gave them dominion over all his creation. And God told her, your curse is you're going to have to follow your husband. She said, no, I won't. I never will. And she meant that. Whenever you see a woman saying that she's the strong black queen, And she get mad when you don't keep Mother Day and keep all her days that Esau has set up for her. You know that she's out of fellowship with God. And she's reverted back to the spirit of Eve. The spirit of Jezebel. Hate the prophets. Hate the prophets. Hate authority. Hate for her husband to be in lead. Hate for the man to be over her, over the earth, leading on the earth. Do not want the black man to lead on the earth. She rather follow the wicked demons leaders than to follow the black man, which is God's order. So they'll convince these young kids that they are smarter than their fathers. Never listen to your father. And God has gave us the message to bring our people back into the sheepfold. He used us. I've always been smarter. He's always had the spirit of God on me. So I'm not trying to boast or brag about it. But we're going to lose our children. If they can't have that abortion right to destroy our children, I tell you what, they're going to destroy them by making them think that they are smarter than us, which will make them miss out all the opportunity to gain knowledge from us who have experienced these wiles of the devil, the weapons and warfare of the devil. All praise to the Most High.